with positive earnings news from Nvidia pushing its stock price past $500 and Tesla potentially making a comeback with a 10% move up this week. Now's the time to take a deeper look at both of these companies. Are they worth investing in? You're going to find out here. So watch through today's video analysis. So before we go into the charts, let's look at the setup we have here. We have the 3-screen setup. So the top left hand chart is the monthly time frame. You can see we have major levels of support and resistance highlighted, and on the top right hand chart we have the weekly, and you can see the trend filter colors here: red when we're seeing bearish moves, green when we're seeing bullish moves, and gray when prices pulling back or consolidating. Same with the daily at the bottom, trend filter colors green, gray, and red. And we have the moving averages on both the weekly and the daily time frames. So let's look at the S&P 500 to get a overview of the whole market. So let's look at the monthly time frame first. The long-term trend for the S&P is still bullish, and right now price is within this area of consolidation. So price started to correct from January 2022 once it reached this peak at $4,820, and this decline went all the way through until October, where price found support at $3,490. So since then price has been recovering, so moving slowly but surely back to the upside. We're just experiencing a bearish August. The price, as you can see, the candle is bearish for August. The price has pulled back. We now need to identify levels of support on the lower time frame where price may come down to before it resumes the long-term bullish trend. But ultimately we're waiting for price to continue moving up and breaking above the all-time high and then continuing a trend above this level. So let's look at the weekly time frame now. We have a closer picture of this area of consolidation, and note we have a mixture of trend filter colors. We have some reds, some greens, and some grays. This will usually happen when price consolidates, and once we start to see breakouts either to the upside or the downside, which is where we start to see a consistent color bar. So green when we're seeing bullish moves and red when we're seeing bearish moves. So price, as you can see, has pulled back. This is around August, so price has pulled back here, and based on this time frame, the level of support prices come down to, or should I say near to, is this high. So this high from August 2022, so roughly a year ago. So prices come down, found support around this zone, and we're now starting to see this correction slowing down in momentum. So price may have found support around this zone, but do bear in mind we usually see bearish moves in September as well. So as we're approaching September, we may actually see price come down through this level and find another level of support before it resumes the long-term bullish move. But that's not to say that this won't hold. Price may still hold around this level. What we need to see next is a move above this recent high from a few weeks ago at $4,605. If we go down to the daily time frame now, the trend filter, or the last trend filter color was gray, but we have a mixture of red and gray because price is looking bearish during this pullback, and prices come down below the 20 and the 50 simple moving averages. So that high I drew in from that peak back in August 2022 is the current level of support holding price up. But should price come down through this level, then we have the 200 simple moving average. So this is a major level of support that should help to push price back to the upside. And if this does fail, then we have the $4,000 round number, so a psychological level of support. So the S&P overall is still bullish, but right now is in an area of consolidation. We want to see the bullish momentum pick up, and then we should start to see the rest of the market also pick up momentum to the upside once again. So let's look at the first stock on the list. The first stock is Nvidia. So Nvidia released their earnings this week, and it did have an effect on price, but let's have a look through all three time frames. So the first time frame is the monthly time frame. So we can see this indecision candle for August. We have a very long wick above the candle and an even longer wick below the body of the candle and a very small body. So there's been a lot of volatility, but price appears to have come back near the point where it opened for the month. And as you can see, price has found resistance this month at the $500 round number. So this may prove to be a major level of resistance. that price struggles to break through. On the weekly time frame, the bar for last week closed green, but prior to that we had some grey candles, and before that we had some green candles as well. So strong move, as you can see back. If we look back at this candle back in October 2022, price moved above the 200 simple moving average of the same month, and then struggled at first to break above the 50 simple moving average in December, but then broke above this level in January. So for the whole year, price has been looking strong, moving to the upside. And this past week, you can see this candle close as a reversal candle. So there was strong momentum to the upside during the week, where we can see price came up to $500, but the sellers have pulled price back down, and this is why it closed as a reversal candle. So we may start to see weakness because price has formed a reversal candle at a major level of resistance. So we may be due a deep correction. We'll have to wait and see how price behaves going into next week, and also see how the monthly bar closes. Now going down to the daily time frame, you can see the stock is in an uptrend at the moment, and above the 20, the 50 and the 200 simple moving averages. So earnings was released after working hours on Wednesday, so we saw the effects on Thursday. So price actually opened up near $500. So opened up here, we had a big gap up. If I just measure how big this gap was, it was around a 6% gap, so a 6% jump the following day. The trend filter is coloring this bar green, but this is actually a bearish candle. So price opened up here and closed down for the day. So although there was a positive move based on earnings, we had a bearish day. And as you can see, Friday also closed bearish as well. So price appears to be pulling back to the 20 and 50 simple moving averages once again. If you look at the previous earnings, so back in May, so May 25th, we had this gap up, but as you can see with this gap, price did not close down. Instead, we saw some sideways movement, but then price continued to move slowly but surely to the upside. And this gap was a gap of around 24%. So did it quite match this gap this time, but doesn't mean to say we're not going to see further moves to the upside. We just need to see price find some form of support and then bounce up and then make its way through the $500 round number. But Nvidia is looking strong. It has been performing well over the last few months, and likely to perform well through the rest of the year as well, unless we start to see major levels of support being taken out. And the last stock for the day is Tesla. So Tesla had a 10% move this past week. Let's have a look at all three time frames. So Tesla on the monthly time frame, it's not looking too strong for August. We have a bearish candle so far, a long wick below the candle. So price has recovered well from this low at $211. Price has been moving up, but we just need to see price continue to move to the upside. As you can see from this low back in January this year, we've seen some moves to the upside, some corrections, and then continuations to the upside. Right now, price is in this correction phase, so we want to see a repeat of these bullish candles we've seen this year so far. So we want price to bounce from support and continue to move up. On the weekly time frame, the bars are grey. Price is above the 50 and 200 simple moving averages. And if we go down to the daily time frame, the bars here are grey. Price is below the 20 and 50 simple moving averages because of this deep correction, but above the 200 simple moving average. So price has come down, found support around the previous resistance area. So because if I put my crosshair around here, we can see price is aligned around this area of support. So we started to see a slow move to the upside. The first half of the week did start off strong, but then the rest of the week we can see price started to move sideways. So what we need to see going into next week and also going into September is a move to the upside, a move up through the 20 and 50 simple moving averages, and then ultimately we want to see a move above this high from July 19th at $298. So just around the $300 round number. So there you have it. We have looked at the S&P, which is still looking bullish, and Nvidia, which is performing really well. We just need to see how price will perform as we go into the end of August and go into September. And Tesla does seem to be way below the all-time high, but it is making progress, and if it does continue to bounce off support, then we should see a rise in the stock price. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and hit to that notification icon so that you can catch all of our videos as soon as they are uploaded, because they are time sensitive videos. Look forward to see you all on the next video analysis.